The truth about royal marriages is often hidden behind the shimmering veil of tradition, duty, and grandeur, but when Sheikh Hamdan speaks of it, he tears through the illusions with raw honesty. He reveals that what the world sees, the extravagant weddings, the golden palaces, the perfect photographs, are but fragments of a much larger and more complicated story. Behind every smile, there are expectations, sacrifices, and unspoken rules that can either bind two hearts together or keep them apart. This truth, rarely shared, shakes the foundations of what people believe about royal love. In his words, Sheikh Hamdan admits that marriage within royalty is not always about love at first sight. More often, it is a delicate negotiation between families, dynasties, and political alliances. While the people dream of fairy tales, reality demands balance between tradition and personal desires. A prince's choice is never just his own, it is tied to the legacy of a nation, the dignity of his family, and the whispers of generations watching from the shadows of history. Yet within these boundaries, the human heart still craves love, tenderness, and companionship. He explains that the pressure to marry the perfect woman is a constant weight. She must not only capture his heart but also fulfill the unspoken criteria of being an ideal queen, elegant, educated, respected, and capable of carrying the burden of an entire kingdom. This responsibility makes love feel like a battlefield, where emotions are tested against duty, and where choosing with the heart alone can spark storms of controversy. Sheikh Hamdan confesses that many times, he has felt torn between what his soul desired and what his position demanded. The truth no one tells is that royal marriages are often watched more closely than they are lived. Every gesture is photographed, every smile analyzed, every silence turned into a headline. For a prince, privacy is a luxury rarely afforded, and even love letters can become news. It is within this spotlight that a couple must nurture something sacred, something real that cannot be destroyed by gossip or criticism. Without trust, such a marriage is destined to crumble, regardless of how dazzling the wedding ceremony might have been. Sheikh Hamdan reflects that in the midst of duty, he has always longed for love that feels untouched by titles. He dreams of a wife who sees him not as a crown, but as a man who laughs, who writes poetry, who loves deeply, and who fears losing the very essence of himself to the demands of tradition. Royal marriages may be dressed in diamonds, but without true love, they can feel like cages gilded in gold. He shares that his greatest struggle has been in reconciling the poet in his heart with the prince in his blood. The poet seeks freedom, passion, and endless romance, while the prince must consider the consequences of every choice he makes. This internal war is what makes royal marriages unlike any others, the clash between heart and heritage, between desire and duty. Many never speak of this pain, but Sheikh Hamdan lays it bare with vulnerability. He admits that there are times when royal families have arranged marriages not because of love, but because of alliances. A marriage can seal political bonds, strengthen economic ties, or honor centuries-old traditions. Yet, the prince and princess must then learn to build love from scratch, like strangers tasked with creating a forever home together. Sometimes, this grows into a beautiful companionship. Other times, it breeds distance and silence. The prince reveals that his greatest fear has always been marrying for duty and losing the chance to love with authenticity. He insists that real love cannot be negotiated. It cannot be arranged like a treaty or designed like a ceremony. Love must be felt, lived, and protected. And when a royal dares to choose for love, the world often reacts with shock, sometimes with resistance, but always with curiosity. Sheikh Hamdan believes the most powerful royal marriages are those where love and duty meet halfway. When two hearts beat in rhythm while also carrying the weight of responsibility, they create a bond stronger than tradition itself. He admires the rare unions where kings and queens openly show affection, not because it is required, but because it is real. These are the marriages that inspire nations and silence critics. But he does not shy away from confessing that even royal marriages built on love are tested endlessly. The constant travel, the separation caused by duty, the endless public appearances, all constrain the intimacy of a couple. To survive, love must be watered daily with patience, kindness, and understanding. Without this, even the most majestic of marriages can fall apart silently, far from the eyes of the cheering crowds. The truth no one tells is that royal marriages demand sacrifice not only from the prince, but also from his chosen queen. She must give up parts of her personal freedom, her privacy, and even her dreams at times, to serve a role larger than herself. It is a calling, not just a relationship. To love a royal is to embrace both the man and the crown, and to carry the weight of both with grace. Sheikh Hamdan admits that what sustains him is the hope of finding a love that can endure these trials. He wants a woman who will walk beside him, not behind him, who will share in his poetry, his struggles, his joys, and his fears. A woman who will understand that beyond the royal seal lies a heart that longs for peace and authenticity. He says this truth must be told because so many mistake glamour for happiness, when in reality, true happiness is found in a shared heartbeat, not in a palace. He reminds the world that royal marriages, despite their grandeur, are still marriages between two souls. They require work, trust, forgiveness, and devotion just like any other. Titles do not protect against heartbreak, nor do palaces guarantee joy. The truth is that love, in all its vulnerability, is the only crown that matters in the end. And as Sheikh Hamdan concludes, he leaves behind words that echo through every heart listening. That no matter the weight of tradition or the roar of expectation, a royal marriage without love is but an empty performance. But a royal marriage built on love, fierce, enduring, and true, is the kind of union that can outshine even the brightest of crowns. He speaks directly to his beloved now, with the tenderness of a man who has lived between two worlds, the world of duty and the world of dreams. He tells her that while others may see only the prince, she has always seen the man behind the crown. It is in her eyes that he finds refuge, a place where titles and responsibilities fade, leaving only two souls who long for each other. He confesses that her presence has been his greatest rebellion against the invisible chains of tradition, for she has shown him that true love cannot be silenced.